So, you're thinking about finally grabbing a PlayStation 5, huh? Taking the plunge into next-gen gaming.
Big decision.
It really is. Exciting. Right. But then you see all the options.
Yeah, bundles, prices.
And on top of that, the PS5 Pro is dropping soon.
Oh, yeah, that makes your head spin a little, doesn't it?
Totally. And that's why we're doing this deep dive today, to help you figure out which PlayStation 5 is the right one for you.
Exactly. Cut through the noise.
Exactly. So let's jump right in. First up, we've got the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition.
Going all digital.
Yep, this one's all about those digital downloads. And on Amazon right now, I'm seeing a bundle with an extra controller for $449.99.
Nice.
There's also a refurbished option for a bit less, $431.99. Might be a good deal if you're on a budget.
Yeah, could be.
The big difference, though, with the digital edition, no disk drive. What do you think are physical copies on the way out?
It's a trend, for sure. More and more people are going digital these days. No more digging around for that disc you can never find. Instant downloads right to your console. But it really boils down to how you like to play.
Yeah, you still like collecting physical copies.
Exactly. Or are you all about that digital life, ready to download and play?
Good point. I will say there is something satisfying about holding a game case in your hands.
Oh, absolutely.
But then again, I do love how easy it is to switch between games when it's all digital.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, let's talk storage space.
Okay.
Both the digital edition and that refurbished standard PS5 come with a 1 TB SSD. And for those who don't know, SSD, solid-state drive, way faster than your old hard drive.
Oh, yeah, lightning fast.
Load times are basically a thing of the past, no more waiting around. But even with that 1 TB, some of these new games are huge, like 100 gigabytes or more.
Yeah, modern games, they take up a lot of space. Especially those big AAA titles. You know, incredible graphics, huge open worlds.
Right. Makes you wonder about the PS5 Pro and its 2 TB SSD.
Double the storage.
Double the price tag, too, though. $799.99.
That's a hefty price.
It is. But looking at the Amazon listing, it does come with some serious upgrades. It mentions PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution and enhanced ray tracing. What does that even mean?
Okay, so basically we're talking about a whole new level of visual fidelity. We're talking stunning 4K resolution, even if the game wasn't originally designed for it.
Okay.
That's the Spectral Super Resolution doing its magic. It's like AI-powered upscaling. And then there's ray tracing.
Okay.
This is how light behaves in real life, simulated in the game. So you get these super realistic reflections, shadows, lighting effects. It's wild.
Sounds intense, like you're really in the game. I have seen ray tracing on some PC games, and it is pretty incredible.
Oh, game changer.
How much of a difference does it actually make?
It's a huge leap in terms of realism and immersion.
Wow.
And the PS5 Pro is taking it even further with 8K support.
8K. Don't most people not even have 8K TVs yet? I mean, 8K is still kind of niche.
You're telling me, even for us techies, it's pretty rare to see an 8K setup.
Right. I was actually watching this YouTuber, Pixarian, and he was saying the same thing. Most gamers are still on a 4K screen. So is 8K on the PS5 Pro overkill? Or is there something more to it?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. I mean, 8K on the PS5 Pro is definitely future-proofing. Most people don't have those TVs yet.
Right.
But even if you don't have an 8K TV right now, that upscaling technology they're talking about should make games look incredible, even on a 4K screen.
So even if we're not quite at 8K yet, those visual enhancements will still make a difference?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good to know. But he did bring up an interesting point. Pixarian, the YouTuber, does 8K even really change gameplay? Or is it more about just those pretty screenshots and bragging rights?
That's the big question, isn't it? And to be honest, we don't really know yet. It's too early to say.
Yeah.
Some people think that extra clarity, those details, it could give players a bit of an edge, especially in games where you're like scanning the environment for enemies or something. But for most people, it's probably going to be more about just how immersive the game feels. You know, how real it looks.
Makes sense. So I guess for now, most of us will be enjoying those benefits in 4K.
Probably.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, though, I did notice the PS5 Pro also promises even faster frame rates than the standard PS5. Now, for those who don't know, frame rates, that's basically how smoothly a game runs.
Right. Higher frame rate, smoother the motion.
Which is super important for those action-heavy games where everything happens so fast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It can make or break the experience. Stuttering, lag, that could be so frustrating. And with the PS5 Pro's upgraded hardware, developers can push those frame rates even further.
No more screen tearing, those annoying frame drops.
Hopefully not. That's the goal.
Okay, so we've talked about the visuals, but what about some other factors? Like, let's say you go all in on digital, get that PS5 digital edition. What happens if disaster strikes? Your console decides to take a swim.
Oh, no.
Are your games gone?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And thankfully, no. Your digital games, they're tied to your PlayStation Network account, not the console itself.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
So even if something happens to your PS5, you can still re-download all your games on a new one.
Okay, that's a relief. I'd hate to lose all my progress. But what about those used game deals?
Yes.
Are those gone with the digital edition?
That is one of the downsides. You're basically limited to the PlayStation Store for buying games. No more bargain hunting.
Okay, I see the trade-off there.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about the digital edition, we've talked about the Pro. What about the standard PS5? Is it even worth considering anymore?
That's a question a lot of people are probably asking.
Right.
And honestly, yes. The standard PS5 is still a fantastic console. And now that the Pro's coming out, you might even see some price drops.
True, true.
Plus, it still has that disc drive, if that's important to you.
Yeah, some people, they really like having that physical copy.
It's a ritual. But even beyond that, the standard PS5 is no slouch. That SSD, those loading times, they're still going to blow you away.
Right. No more making a sandwich while you wait for a game to load.
Exactly. And the visuals are still incredible. It's a great way to experience the next generation of gaming.
So for listeners who are maybe on the fence about upgrading or who are looking for a more affordable way to experience the PS5, the standard version is still a really good option.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. All three PlayStation 5 models. But the big question is, which one is right for you? What are the things people should be thinking about before they make this decision? It's a big decision. Where do we even start?
Well, I think the first thing you got to ask yourself is, are you a digital person or a physical person? Do you still buy those disc games?
Right. Like that disc drive, it's either important to you or it's not.
Exactly. It's kind of like, I don't know, streaming music versus vinyl.
I get it, yeah.
The whole thing. And then, think about how you use your PlayStation. Are you all about online gaming, PlayStation Plus, or maybe just look for those PlayStation Store deals? Download everything digitally.
It's about the big picture.
Yeah, like what kind of gamer are you?
And of course, we got to talk about budget.
Oh, yeah. That PS5 Pro, it's tempting, but it's a lot of money.
$799.99.
Not cheap. Not at all. So if you're like on a budget, the digital edition, even that pre-owned standard PS5, that might be the smarter move.
Don't get caught up in all the hype. Make sure it fits your life.
Exactly. And, this might sound crazy, but sometimes it's better to wait.
Wait, for the PS5 Pro.
I know. But think about it. New tech, sometimes it has some issues at launch.
True.
Little bugs, things they need to work out. And plus, usually the price goes down after a while, right?
That's true. You can usually find a better deal if you're patient.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've gone over the digital edition, the powerful PS5 Pro.
A lot of choices out there.
So, to our listeners, think about what kind of gamer you are, what's important to you, and make the choice that's right for you. That's what it's all about. Have fun. Explore those amazing games. Get out there and game on.
PlayStation